Hello YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. Mike here. And we're back in Arizona, back at our little slice of heaven here in Arizona, our 40-acre ranch, the little cabin in the woods over there. And I'm setting up to do some astronomy. Hopefully, I don't know about tonight, but the next couple of nights the forecast is supposed to be really good. The first 2 nights we were here, rain like you would not believe, like we never see out here. And I'm blaming my wife, because every time she comes out with me it rains. The rest of the time I could be out here for months at a time and never see a drop. Every time she comes out though, it rains, so I'm blaming her. Anyway, I'm getting set up here. I've got the scope set up. Hopefully it'll at least be, you know, some sucker holes big enough to get everything aligned, get it polar aligned, get it focused. I want to check the collimation on it. So I was kind of dinking around with that the last time I was out here. I want to double check it. And then I can put the camera on it. And if I can't get any photography done tonight, the next 2 nights look like they're going to be spectacular. So that'll be great. I'm going to put my wind blocking tarps up. See, I set up inside a 10 by 10 dog kennel, and I just drape 8-foot by 10-foot tarps over the chain link fencing, and I bungee them in place. And the purpose of that is to block the wind, which is almost always blowing out here. It's amazingly calm right now, and I'm going to take advantage of that to get these tarps up, because it's hard to do when it's windy. And I'm sure the wind will get up just as I'm trying to do some photography and start shaking the scope. So I got to get this pile of tarps hung on the fence. So I'm going to put the phone down and get started on that. I'll show you the finished product. Okay, got the walls up. It's easy when it's not windy, let me tell you. So once the wind does get up, this will help keep it from rocking the telescope. And also I've taken the precaution of bungeeing the scope down to some stakes I leave in the ground here. One time it got so windy, it pushed the whole telescope mount over. So that's a mistake you only make once. After that, you start taking precautions against it, because it can get really windy out here. We are quite fortunate that it is just short of dead calm right now. So just got to wait for nighttime, and hopefully these clouds will clear up, or at least clear up enough that I can get everything aligned and check the collimation on the scope. And then if it's all good, or after I adjust it and make it good, I'll put the camera on and start taking some photos. So it's just a waiting game now. Yeah, this really helps with the wind. Now, if you have stray light problems where you're observing, this setup can help you a lot too. This will block stray light wonderfully. Not a problem I have out here. There's pretty much nobody and nothing. My nearest neighbors, about half a mile away on top of that hill, they have a light that stays on all night, but really doesn't bother me. You know, it's pretty sparsely populated out here. There's very little light. The sky is amazing. But if you have light pollution problems where you are, stray light, light trespass, whatever, this could be a good solution for you too. And it's not that expensive, and it's dead easy to set up when you need to use it, as long as it's not too windy. Well, the afternoon started off so promising. Just some puffy cumulus clouds, but we got some rough looking stuff coming in out of the south from the mountains there. I don't know. Don't know if we're going to be able to get to use the scope tonight or not. Right overhead, it's starting to look a little nasty too. So, taking the precaution, bagged it up just in case we get a little bit of rain. And I can come out and unbag it if it clears before it gets too late. Oh, it's looking pretty ugly over there. It's early though. It's still about, 2.5, 3 hours to sunset, so we'll see what happens. But if I can't do anything with the scope tonight, there's always tomorrow and the next night and the next night after that. Hopefully we'll get a couple of clear nights while I'm here. Yep, that is a positive test. I have COVID. And I'll tell you what, it's like a moderate flu. I've certainly been sicker than this before, but it did knock me down a little bit for a while. So I just hope my wife doesn't catch it. So we're on vacation out here in our Arizona place. And so far, she's perfectly healthy. But, she's got a cast iron immune system. She's a doctor. She works with sick people all the time. She never catches anything.
Don't stop saying that.
She doesn't want me to jinx her.
That's right.
So I hope I get over these lingering symptoms, and I'm feeling better, because in 5 days I gotta get on an airplane and fly home. But 5 days is about all they give you off for COVID anymore, and I'll wear a mask. So I do feel much better today. I think my low point was yesterday afternoon. I just crashed. But today, feeling much better. Well, we've had an interesting turn of events. Our first few days out here were rainy. Next, it was cloudy. It's a little cloudy right now. And then I got sick. I've got COVID. And I'm supposed to self-isolate for 5 days. Well, okay. Mission accomplished there. Yeah, missed a couple of halfway decent nights just because I was too sick to come out here and do anything. Not a good idea probably for me to be out here in 30-degree weather at night at the telescope. Even, if I wasn't so under the weather, it wasn't even an option. Yesterday I really hit a brick wall. I crawled into bed and stayed there for most of the day. Today I feel much, much better. I've been vaxxed and boosted every which way, so probably not going to push it tonight. It's just got some light cirrus, probably enough that I could try collimating the telescope and aligning everything, but I think probably I will wait and give it another day or two, because like I said, it does get down to the 30s at night, and it's a bit windy. Got the wind now that we didn't have when I set these windbreaks up. So, yeah, probably not a good idea for me to be out here in this. I'm feeling better. I don't want to have a relapse. So, maybe give it another night or two. Going to be out here for another 5 days, and the forecast looks pretty good for most of the time. So, let me get better, and then we'll get on the telescope. Well, it's a few nights later. I'm feeling a little better. The sky is pretty good tonight, and I am imaging the PacMan Nebula. I'm taking some 30-second subframes on it. Pardon me, my voice isn't quite there yet. COVID sucks, let me tell you. Last night was a pretty good night too, but I didn't have the energy, and I couldn't handle the cold. I'd walk outside my nice warm cabin and I'd get the chills immediately. Heck, it got down to 28 last night. I couldn't put on enough clothes to stay warm outside. I've gotten a little better. Every day a little better. Today, much better. I've got a nasty cough, which right now is being kept under control by cough syrup and cough drops, but mostly under control. But I did find the energy to come out and get everything aligned and start doing some imaging. But I'll tell you what, this is the only object I'm going to image tonight. I'm going to get some more subframes. I'm going to shut everything down, go back in my nice warm cabin and crawl into bed, because I'm probably flirting with pneumonia out here. I'm still sick. But, oh, it's a shame to waste this sky. There's Jupiter over there. It's a beautiful sky. And then the other stars are showing up. Pleiades are over there, but they're not showing up. Jupiter shows up. It's a beautiful sky. And tonight and tomorrow night may be the last good nights while I'm here. The weather's supposed to come in again after tomorrow, so I wanted to get out here and do something. So we'll see how the PacMan Nebula turns out. I'll probably try stacking the images tomorrow morning. Well, it's the next night. The PacMan Nebula turned out pretty good last night, but that was the only object I had the stamina to image. So we'll see how I do tonight. I actually have a list of objects up there in the northern sky in that general area that I wanted to image. And we're imaging right now IC 1805. I'm not sure why I started with it, because I guess it's just, on the top of my list. If I wasn't suffering COVID fog, I'd have probably thought a little further ahead, because it's pretty low right now. Rising, but low. And I probably would have started with something that was crossing the meridian, but oh well. Things are working pretty well. Taken a series of subframes, 30-second subframes on it. And we'll see how they stack tomorrow. And then I'll move on to another object. I think I have enough stamina to do a couple of objects tonight. Number one, it's not so cold. And number two, I napped a lot today. So, yeah, I think I can stay awake a while. It's a little windy tonight, though. I think you can probably hear in the background the wind flapping my tarps that I've got up. But it's not too bad. Lost tracking once. So, not too bad. So we'll see how this goes. And I'll show you the next target when we move on to it. It's an absolutely gorgeous night, by the way. There's Jupiter again. I wish some of the other stars would show up. I'm pointing at Cassiopeia right now. Looks like the phone's only going to focus on something as bright as Jupiter, unfortunately. It's an absolutely gorgeous night. It's the clearest night I've seen out here on this trip, I think. So I had to take advantage of it. It's also going to be the last night I'm going to be able to image, because tomorrow night's supposed to be cloudy and possibly rainy. So I'm going to have to break this stuff down tomorrow. And then got to get ready to go home. And I think I'm going to be good enough to go home, because I am improving quickly. Yay. All right, I'll show you the next object when we move on to it. Okay, I have moved on to the Bubble Nebula after getting quite a few subframes on the last object. Bubble Nebula, I probably should have done this one first, which right now just about to cross the meridian. But I don't know how well it's showing up, but I should be able to get quite a few subs in before the telescope's in danger of hitting the tripod. I'll have to keep an eye on it. And we'll see how it goes. Like I said, this is quite a bit smaller than the last object, so I don't know how it's going to turn out, but it's also quite a bit brighter. And it's at the meridian. So we'll see how this turns out. I'm getting a little hoarse. Didn't know, I don't talk to myself that much. Look at that. You can see the bubble. Nice. Well, I'm going to call it quits after I get an hour and 5 minutes of data on the Bubble Nebula here. And I'm going to shut everything down and go in the cabin. It's getting cold. It's getting late. I'm not well. I probably shouldn't be out here at all. My wife would probably be yelling at me. So, there'll be other times to be out here and do astronomy, or out in Wyoming and do astronomy. So we'll see how this turns out. And tomorrow morning I'll start breaking all this down. And be back again in the future. Spring at least, maybe even sooner. I've been out here in the winter before, so it's possible. So I'll give you a look at this after I stack it, see if it's any good. Well, it's just before sunrise the next morning. Look at that. Wow. And let's see, there's the moon up there, thin crescent. But what's the old saying? Red sky in morning, sailor take warning. Yeah, this bank of clouds coming in out of the south, that's the leading edge of a front. So after the most perfect night of this trip, when I was actually feeling good enough to do something about it, we're going to have the sky shut down by high winds and rain and possibly some snow flurries. So up early this morning so I can get this all put away and batten down. I think first I'm going to have some breakfast though, and then I'll start disassembling everything. That's an amazing sunrise though. My goodness. That is an amazing sunrise. Blood red. Wow. Thought I'd give you a quick look at the cabin we stay in when we're out here. It's not too far from where I set up the telescope. That's all been picked up, put away, battened down. Till next time. I'll be back again. I love it out here. And boy, the skies are so nice, especially last night. That photo of the Bubble Nebula, that came out so great. Wow. Wow. I'm so glad I was feeling good enough to do that last night. Oh, it's beautiful out here too. I love this place. Even though the weather's coming in, I love it. Couldn't think of a better place to self-isolate for a while. I'm definitely feeling better. About time to head home. Anyway, I hope you found this COVID abbreviated edition of Astrophotography in Arizona with Mike interesting. If so, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to see my future videos. There'll be more astrophotography videos from here, from the Ocean Lake Observatory in Wyoming, and I'll be doing some work from back home in Florida. We're getting into the good season in Florida. The nights are long, the humidity's low, and the temperatures are cooler, so we'll be getting out in Florida too. So subscribe to see those future videos, and press the little bell icon YouTube wants you to press to be notified when new videos come out. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching this one. Bye.